What's going on there, YouTube? And welcome back to another comic book video. This is the channel where we sit down and cover different comic book stories from different comic book companies. Today, we're going to jump back over to Marvel Comics, and we are going to continue our coverage over the Ultimate Marvel Universe. And we're going to pick back up with Ultimate Comics X-Men, because now we're in the prelude to War X. That will be our next Ultimate Comics X-Men video. But before we can get to that point right there, we have to cover this story right here, because you have Psylocke fighting against Jean Grey. So if you do like today's comic book video, please hit that like button down below and also subscribe to the channel for more content to come in the near future. I do hope you enjoy today's video. So getting back into Ultimate Comics X-Men, we pick up with Kitty Pryde, Storm, Rogue, and Jimmy Hudson, the son of Wolverine, being surrounded right now by a bunch of soldiers. And the big question is right now, what led up to this moment? Because at the end, we learned that the American government is plotting to get rid of the mutant race. They hated the idea of the mutant race having utopia, their own nation. So what led to this moment from point A to point B? Well, you had a story jump back 2 weeks prior to tell us what led up to that moment, where you have Kitty Pryde tell us that at the end of our last video up to now, utopia has grown into this beautiful nation, that they took their sentient seed and grew a jungle around utopia. Remember, the sentient seed was made by them to help the human race end world hunger. But of course, the human race hated the idea that mutants made this sentient seed. And so you have Kitty Pryde instead use that seed to grow a jungle around the nation of utopia. We also learn that mutants who were in hiding across America are coming out of hiding and going to utopia to finally have a home where they are accepted. Because remember, in America, if you are a mutant, it's illegal. So why stay there when you can go to utopia and be welcomed and be loved? So getting into Rogue, remember that after Ultimatum, Rogue been through a lot, but most recently she fell in love with a young mutant named Quentin Quire, who was this psychic mutant able to get rid of the voices in her head. Except after he did that, well, he took the mutant cure and left, which kind of sucks. But for Rogue, she began to talk to the sentient seed like it was alive. And that right there is very important for this book. Do not forget that. Now, you have Sam Wood remind us that there are a group of mutants who left Kitty Pryde group because they hated Kitty Pryde for what she is doing right now. Because this group of mutants being led by a young girl named Mach 2, who has the same ability as Magneto, they all felt like after the big event, Divided We Fall, United We Stand, Kitty Pryde should have taken her army of mutants and attacked the human race. Instead, we saw Kitty Pryde build up utopia. And so this group of mutants broke away, hid somewhere else in utopia, plotting to get rid of Kitty Pryde. Except this is the moment we learn that really Mach 2, this young girl, is not in charge. That Psylocke, the psychic mutant, is really in charge of this whole operation. That she could be using her powers as a way to make Kitty Pryde and Mach 2 fight against each other. And the question is, why? and she tells us as she is talking to Warpath. Now, before we can learn more about that, we also get reminded about Jean Grey. Remember that Jean Grey goes by Karen Grant now, except she did taken over Tien, the country that was built by the Zorn brothers and the Ultimate Comics Ultimates, written by Jonathan Hickman. After they had died, she had taken over that country, Tien, and made Tien a second home for mutants to go to. And she hates the idea that Kitty Pryde had built Utopia, another home for mutants to go to. And so what Jean Grey is doing, she's going to pretend to be someone new coming to Utopia and to hopefully get rid of Utopia from the inside out, because she hates the idea of Kitty Pryde making her own mutant nation that is not part of Tien. We then jump over to Washington, D.C., where we pick up with a group of politicians who are right now thinking about how they can attack Utopia without getting in trouble. Remember that Steve Rogers, aka Captain America, is technically still the President of America at this moment, except they're trying to find different ways around his power, but also trying to find ways that will not get them in trouble in different ways. And the main reason why they think they have the right to attack Utopia is because they believe the mutant race is American government property. Remember that in Origins, we found out that the American government used Wolverine's DNA or genes to go ahead and spread an airborne virus that led into the birth of the mutant race. That Wolverine was the first mutant. They took his gene and made an airborne virus that gave us the mutant race. And they believe with that right there that technically the mutant race is American government property. That is the reason why they can attack Utopia and go ahead and secure the mutants there at Utopia. But we then switch over to Jimmy Hudson, the son of Wolverine. And he's kind of dating Kitty Pryde, but he hates the idea that Kitty Pryde is trying to be a pacifist. She does not believe in violence right now. She believes of debating and talking to get what the mutant race needs. Except Jimmy Hudson believes more of, you need to fight, because sooner or later Utopia will be attacked. You need to plan for those attacks down the road. And so we see him meeting up with Warpath. And Warpath is right now is with the other group of mutants that broke away from Kitty Pryde's group, because they hate what Kitty Pryde is doing at the moment. Now, with the second chapter, it opens up with us seeing that a bill was passed in Washington, D.C. Now, this bill is veto-proof, meaning that no one can veto this bill from passing. And so you have politicians tell us that this bill gives them the ability to go ahead and take down Utopia. That was the whole point of the politicians meeting up earlier, to pass some form of bill to give them the ability to go ahead and take down Utopia. And that bill has now been passed. Now we do jump back over to Utopia, where we see that Jean Grey has arrived to Utopia. And remember that her goal is to take down Utopia from the inside out. She hates the idea of another nation of mutants being out there that she does not have control over. To her, everybody should go to Tien, the country that she owned and basically picked up right after the Zorn brothers had died. Now, you would think with Jean Grey being a popular X-Men character in the Ultimate Marvel Universe, that as soon as she walks in, no one remembers her. That you would think folks be like, hey, you're Jean Grey from the X-Men. You were popular. You were on TV, on magazines. Your boyfriend died in that big ultimatum event. Nobody remembers who she is. Now, you would think when Kitty Pryde walks up, because they lived together for so long, that Kitty Pryde would remember her. Except, Jean Grey uses her powers to make Kitty Pryde think as Jean Grey as somebody new. That she's not their long lost friend, that they never met before. And that is huge for this book right here. Now remember that Jimmy Hudson met up with Warpath, and that is huge. And you have Warpath tell Mach 2, I keep calling her the wrong name, I feel like. But you have Warpath tell Mach 2 what him and Jimmy Hudson talked about. That Jimmy Hudson knew this whole time that Mach 2 and her group were hiding out in Utopia. They believed they were doing a great job hiding out in Utopia and hiding so well that Jimmy Hudson couldn't find them. He tells Warpath, no, I knew y'all were here, but listen, I do have a deal for you. That Jimmy Hudson loves Kitty Pryde, but he understands that Kitty Pryde, she keeps thinking that as long as she goes down this peaceful way, nothing is going to happen to Utopia. But this is Jimmy Hudson saying that sooner or later the human race is going to attack, and he has to be that enforcer to protect the woman he loves. But he also tells Warpath that he knows they are hiding out in Utopia, and he's asking Warpath that as long as you hide in Utopia, you can at least help us defend the nation. And this is Warpath agreeing with Jimmy Hudson. And you have Warpath telling all of this to Mach 2. And Mach 2 is kind of like, no. You went behind my back and made a deal with our enemy. And she tells Psylocke to just hit him with a high amount of psychic energy until she comes back, because she feels betrayed by Warpath. Now, we do pick up with Jean Grey. Remember, Jean Grey used her psychic abilities to make Kitty Pryde think that she is someone completely new into her life. And so you have Kitty Pryde and Jean Grey talk to one another. And at first, this seems like them bonding all over again, because they have not seen each other for a very long time. Really before Ultimatum. And that's way back, like almost a year ago in our videos. And you have Jean Grey still using her powers to make Kitty Pryde think that she's a new person. But then Jean Grey brings up the idea of why did not Kitty Pryde go to Tien? What does she think about Tien? And you have Kitty Pryde tell Jean Grey that Tien is too real. It's not grounded like Utopia, where mutants can come to and help build up a nation, where Tien is the two cities up in the sky like it's heaven. It's not grounded. It's not realistic. It's too unreal for mutants to go to. To her, Utopia is 10 times better. And Jean Grey hated to hear that from Kitty Pryde, to the point that now she is more motivated to go ahead and get rid of Utopia. Now, we do pick up with Psylocke, and you have Psylocke really tell Warpath that she is the one playing mind games with everyone in Utopia. That it's her right now using her psychic abilities to have Mach 2 and Kitty Pryde go against each other. But the big question is, why? Why would someone want to start a war between the mutant race? That is the big question. But before we can learn the answer to that question, well, we have to jump over and we pick up with General Ross. Now, I have no idea when the last time we saw this character. I want to say he last appeared in Ultimate Fantastic Four, but I could be wrong. Either way, we do see him gathering a small army because, again, remember, Washington, D.C. just passed a bill that was veto-proof where they can now go over to Utopia and recapture the mutant race because, again, to the American government, mutants are actual property. Because again, thanks to Wolverine being the first mutant, they took his genes and made an airborne virus that led to the creation of the mutant race. So this is General Ross taking his small army and about to attack Utopia. Now, with the third chapter, we open up with Jean Grey still plotting to bring down Utopia from the inside out. Except in the shadows, you have Rogue watching her, and this is Rogue learning that something is up with Jean Grey. She has no idea what yet, but she is going to learn very soon. The next page, we pick up with Jimmy Hudson and Kitty Pryde laying in bed, where Jimmy Hudson is confronted by Psylocke. And this is Psylocke returning the gun that Jimmy Hudson had asked Warpath to return. And the reason why she's doing it and not Warpath is because to her, now Jimmy Hudson is in her debt. That Jimmy Hudson now owes her one now. This is Psylocke still kind of plotting this huge war between Kitty Pryde and Mach 2. The next page, we pick up with Storm on the very edge of Utopia. And this is Storm waiting for Colossus to actually come to Utopia. We did skip over a book where it tells us that Storm and Colossus hung out together before Storm came to Utopia, except Colossus went his separate way. And this is Storm kind of hoping that Colossus will come out of hiding and actually come to Utopia, except of course he did not. Now, Blackheath does confront Storm, and you have Blackheath give off that hint that hey, he likes Storm but has no idea how to tell her. The next couple sections is you have Warpath confronting Mach 2. And this is Warpath telling Mach 2 that she's doing a bad job being a leader. Being a leader. Because remember, Mach 2 was the one who broke away from Kitty Pryde. She took that group of mutants with her. But he's saying, hey, I'm starving out here. I can't survive out here. Let's go back to Kitty Pryde group. But you have Mach 2 say that very soon, Utopia is about to get attacked. And we can see that General Ross and his army is on their way to attack Utopia. Now, the next day, we see that General Ross has set up shop outside of Utopia. Except this is where we learn that General Ross does not want to go into Utopia gun blazing, that he is hoping to have a peaceful transaction here and tell Kitty Pryde, hey, you have 12 hours until you are no longer a sovereign nation, that you become property of the American government once again. And so he does go up there to have this one-on-one conversation. Now, on the other side, you have Kitty Pryde, Storm, Jimmy Hudson, I want to say Rogue too, get upset with the fact that they're back here again trying to get rid of Utopia. And you have Kitty Pryde go and try to have a one-on-one conversation with General Ross to tell him, hey man, that we are technically a sovereign nation. You cannot come up here, except up in the trees, you have a sniper ready to shoot Kitty Pryde just in case she does attack General Ross. Now, this soldier does get orders to hold his fire, but of course, this man right here truly hates mutants with a passion. And so, of course, this man does shoot his sniper off at Kitty Pryde. Now, out of nowhere, we do get this one page where we see that Jimmy Hudson is confronted by Psylocke. This is huge because you have Psylocke tell Jimmy Hudson that everything she planned is coming together, but she does mention one word, Mother Vine. That is huge because back in our Ultimate Comics Wolverine video, we learned that Mother Vine was basically a hidden group of people out there impregnating women with mutant babies to build up a mutant army. It was weird. It was so weird. But anyways, getting back to Kitty Pryde and General Ross, well, you would think that the sniper that got fired off actually did hit Kitty Pryde, except she did use her powers at the very last second, but you do have her tell General Ross that this is more proof that mutants will never have a home, because the human race just can't deal with the idea of mutants being out there. And you do have Ross leave to go back down to his camp, but this right here is saying, hey, the war is about to start between Kitty Pryde and General Ross at this moment. Now, to close on the third chapter, 3 things happen here. The first thing is you have Jimmy Hudson meeting up with Mach 2, and this is Jimmy Hudson and Mach 2 making a deal to work together to protect Utopia, except we can tell right here you have Psylocke pulling the strings by using her psychic powers to make these 2 characters make this deal, to have this war come to Utopia. And the question again, what is she planning? Now, you do have Mach 2 group go back to Kitty Pryde to say, hey, we are going to work together to protect Utopia from General Ross. We know that we used to hate you because your beliefs was different from ours, but we are going to work together to save Utopia. And this is huge because it's Kitty Pryde and Mach 2 putting their differences aside and say, let's work together. Now, Jean Grey is the big shocker of the end of the third chapter, because remember, she wanted to get rid of Utopia from the inside out, except she tells her mutant Farbird, who's in the sky watching over Utopia, that plans change, that she is actually going to help protect Utopia from General Ross. Except after she said that, you have Psylocke in the trees like Rogue was earlier, watching her, knowing that something is up with Jean Grey. And now the big question is, what will Psylocke do to Jean Grey? Now, with the 4th chapter, of course, it opens up with General Ross getting ready to attack Utopia. This is the big war to come to Utopia, except at the same time, you have the mutants getting ready for the attack by General Ross. But you still have one thing we forgot about because it was barely mentioned in the beginning of our video, that Rogue was talking to the sentient seed like it was alive, and she is plotting to use that seed to help protect Utopia. Now, right before the war pops off, you have Psylocke confront Jean Grey. And this is Psylocke confirming that she is the one pulling all the strings. Not just Mach 2 and Kitty Pryde, but seems like she was pulling the strings in Washington, D.C. to have this war, to get rid of Utopia. Now, at first, it seems like Psylocke is about to beat down on Jean Grey, that she is the more powerful psychic, but you have Jean Grey remind her who she is, that Jean Grey is also an Omega level psychic mutant, that she is most likely more powerful than Psylocke in this universe. But while those two are fighting against each other, the war has begun. The soldiers have snuck their way into Utopia and begin to start shooting up the place. The war has begun, and this is going to be an epic battle. And to prove that, right off the bat, Storm gets shot. Now, Storm is not dead, but she does get shot in the shoulder. Now, you do have Psylocke admit that everything that had happened so far with Utopia, after Utopia was born, was all her. She was the one trying to get rid of Utopia. So every incident that happened so far in this video, in the last video as well, was all Psylocke herself. Now, after she does mention that it was her, getting back to Blackheath, this is a very touching moment, because after Blackheath beat down the soldiers that shot Storm in the shoulder, well, you have Blackheath finally admit that he loves Storm. And you have Storm say, "Oh my God, I love you too," and they kiss. Honestly, I want to say these two are a couple now, because if I don't mention it, I feel like someone down the road will be, "Hey, you missed this, Fresh." So there you go, the new couple in Ultimate Comics X-Men. Now, after that, you have Psylocke use her powers to continue to control the soldiers in Utopia, to begin throwing grenades everywhere. And this is huge because now she is starting a wildfire in Utopia, hoping to burn down Utopia at a faster rate, just throwing grenades left and right. And you have the mutants trying to survive and trying to keep Utopia alive. Except then you have Psylocke mention that she's doing all of this for Mother Vine. And the way she mentioned this is when she tells Jean Grey that she is planning to go after Tien next. Remember, Tien is another mutant nation that was made by the Zorn brothers back in Ultimate Comics Ultimates by the Zorn brothers. Except when they died, Jean Grey took over that mutant nation. And this is Psylocke saying, after I'm done here in Utopia, I am going to go wipe out Tien next. And that was enough for Jean Grey to call in Firebird from the sky to crash down on Jean Grey. Sorry, not Jean Grey. To crash down on Psylocke, badly injuring her. But when Jean Grey reads her mind, all she gets is Mother Vine. Now, with Firebird taking out Psylocke, or knocking her out temporarily, the mind power she had over every single person in Utopia goes away just like that. And that's when they realize they have all been tricked. They all been played, and now they're in this big war against the army of General Ross in Utopia. Utopia may not survive, except the next page, you have Rogue say, "Now. Come alive now." And that is when you have the sentient seed that turned into this huge jungle around Utopia come alive to show us that this jungle is going to help save Utopia from General Ross's army. Now, with the opening of the 5th chapter, you do have Rogue using the sentient seed to stop these soldiers left and right. It's kind of cool to see this happen because it is Utopia that has grown into this big, huge, beautiful nation, having different ways to protect themselves against the army of soldiers. But getting back to Jean Grey and Psylocke, this is where you have Psylocke say a few words before she dies. Starting off with the fact that she tells Jean Grey that she believed she was the one to bring the end of all mutants. That she believes she was the one to end the mutant race. But with her death, at her final moments, she knows that Jean Grey will finish her mission. That Jean Grey is the true villain of the X-Men right now. And she'll be the one to end the mutant race, which is kind of huge to say about somebody. Now, after all of that, you do have General Ross seize fire, tell his soldiers to stop shooting, because that's when he realized that they were also being mind controlled, that what he was doing was not his idea, that this is all for one, the American government, but two, because of Psylocke. And so you have General Ross tell Kitty Pryde that today she won the right to have her nation, to be a sovereign nation. But at the same time, he does tell Kitty Pryde they need to enjoy their young lives. They are just kids, enjoy it. But this is the moment I like the most, because you have Kitty Pryde saying that we're just trying to live. But instead, because we are mutants, the human race keeps hitting new threats left and right on us that keeps trying to kill us. And with that being said, we are kids. We did not have a normal childhood. We would like to have one like human kids do, but unfortunately, we do not get that chance. And you have Ross leave after that. Now, after he leaves, you have Kitty Pryde tell us that right after he left, you had everybody working together, but they did trace all the way back to when Psylocke began to control their minds to build up to this moment. That it all began right before Utopia was found. That she was trying to build up this huge war to end the mutant race. And again, that is still the big question. Why was Psylocke trying to end the mutant race for? Because she did say Mothervine. Is she working for the corporation that owns Mothervine that is trying to get rid of the mutant race? That is very huge information right there. But still, this is Utopia moving on and rebuilding after falling apart thanks to Psylocke. Now, to close off this video, 3 things happen. The first is that you have Jean Grey tell the mutant Firebird that she brought with him from Tien to Utopia to go back home to Tien, but she gives him a code to unlock something big that we are going to see in our next video for the Ultimate Comics X-Men. But after that, you have Jean Grey meet up with Kitty Pryde. And this right here is a huge moment, because this is Kitty Pryde telling Jean Grey that after day 1, when she arrived to Utopia, the sentient seed was able to block the powers of Jean Grey. Kitty Pryde continued to pretend that she had no idea who Jean Grey was. But this is her now saying, oh, after day 1, I remember who you were. And it hurts my feelings that an old friend like you, who I used to live with, used to work with, try to use her powers to bring down a nation that I built up from the ground up. And this is where we learn why these two are at odds. Because to Jean Grey hates the idea that Kitty Pryde is trying to use Utopia as a way to hopefully build to a better future where humans and mutants can live together. For right now, it's just a mutant nation. But in the last couple of weeks, Utopia has grown rapidly, and she is hoping that it will continue to grow to the point where humans and mutants can live together. But for Jean Grey, that can never happen because the human race always hates mutants. And that is why she wants every single mutant to come to Tien to be this mutant empire where she is in charge. But again, these two cannot agree with each other's ideas. Now, Kitty Pryde does say one thing. She said if Jean Grey had came to us normally, day 1, Utopia could have been a sister nation to Tien. But since Jean Grey came in here, used her powers, and tried to play mind games with everybody, Kitty Pryde does not want Utopia to be a part of Tien in any way possible. That these two are not going to work together. And she tells Jean Grey to go home. Go home and don't come back here. But when you do leave, I do hope you realize what we are trying to do and what you are going to miss out on. Now, to close on this book, to build up to the next video of Ultimate Comics X-Men, you have Firebird put in the code Phoenix 5. And we see this huge door. And this tells us that the next video for World War X, it is going to go down for the X-Men. But this is where we are going to end today's video. So please hit that like button down below and also subscribe to the channel for more content to come in the near future. Also, any suggestions on books I should read, well, please let me know in the comments below, because you never know, your suggestion could be a future video down the road. But I do hope you enjoy today's video.